I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The meeting will now come to order. Welcome to tonight's planning board meeting. Please be aware of the fire exits. In the case of an emergency, please move in a calm and orderly fashion down the stairs, and please do not use the elevator. The meeting notes are taken by the secretary for the purpose of a record and minutes, so please identify yourself each time you come to the podium, and please speak into the microphone. The meeting minutes are not intended to be a verbatim record, but only to indicate the sum and substance of the proceedings. The meeting workshop is being recorded on our ICAT department and broadcast on Spectrum Channel 1303. The board will follow the items in the order they appear on the agenda. Copies of the agenda are near the door. After the case has been called, the applicant and/or agent shall come to the podium and present their case. During this time, the planning board members will have the opportunity to question and comment on the case. For public hearing cases, the chairman will open the case for public input, in which anyone wishing to speak regarding the case will come to the podium, state their name and address, and direct their comments to the board and only the board. Once all public input has been received, the applicant and/or agent will be given the opportunity to respond to the public input. Once all public input has been completed, the chairman will close the public input, and the board will then move on to a decision. No further input is allowed at that point. Please call the first case on the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First case is case number PB 2024-02-01, request by Rochester Phoenix Martial Arts for signage approval to update existing signage on premises 563 Titus Avenue in a mixed-use commercial district.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Good. So we were updating the already existing signs.
Name and address, please.
Rochester Phoenix Martial Arts and 563 Titus Ave.
And your name.
George Kern.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Sorry. So we were updating the already existing signs with our logo once we moved in. The signs are already up. We were not aware a permit was needed. I'll have to plead ignorance on that. But the second we did see that, we were researching something else, and I saw that. We came right down to file for that permit and beg forgiveness. The landlord is not local. They're out of Long Island, so they did not tell us, and the realtor who showed it to us did not inform us either when we talked about the signage. We didn't try to add anything new, just replace what was already existing, took down the old aquatic shop signs off the windows, peeled all that off, cleaned that all up, and just tried to put up nice, clean, new signage. We mentioned the bay window when we arrived, so we worked that all out. So the maximum allowed per the code was 20 square feet. The coverage is 13.36 square feet. And we are understanding the east side sign that used to be enabled for illumination is not, and we will not be illuminating it. Pending any of your questions.
Sure, I'll open up to the board for any questions.
The understanding with this board is that all lights get extinguished 2 hours prior or 2 hours after you close, and you can turn it on 1 hour before. And you're okay with that?
Yeah, we haven't tried to set up any timers or anything, so when we shut lights, lights are shut.
Yeah, that's the way most places usually operate. Mm-hmm. My other question is, I know that you're going to light the signs from overhead.
We can look to do that. I don't know that they're set up for that right now.
Okay, so you're not going to have any illumination on the lights at all?
There is a light on the side, not the east, so that must be the south side. There's a light there. I don't know that that's working right now, but we can try to fix that, just for, just to make it right. The light bulb's there.
It's entirely up to you. If you're going to be doing lots of major lighting changes, I'm going to ask that be a condition that it comes back to the board. But if you're just going to do that one light, I was going to ask you to keep it at 4,000 Kelvin or less.
Yeah, if we do anything, we won't do anything major. And the signs up front, I don't believe are lit at all, and we just want to match the other establishments, which is the wood sign on the front above the main entrance.
Great.
Yeah, none of that'll be lit.
Thank you so much.
No problem, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Anything from the staff before I open it up for a public hearing? Okay, you could probably, well, you might want to just take a seat real quick.
Yes,
But
sir.
you might be right back. I'm going to open this for a public hearing. Anybody who would like to speak to this, please come to the podium. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Okay, unless there's any questions from the staff and/or the board, I would take a motion. Oh, I'm sorry, we got to do seeker. Is this unlisted or type 2?
Type 2.
Type 2, so then no votes required. So for the record, it is a type 2 seeker, but I will take a motion.
On PB 2024-0201, Mr. Chair, I put forth that we approve the application as presented with the condition that any light that's added is under 4,000 Kelvin. The lights are extinguished 2 hours after closing of the business and can be illuminated 1 hour prior to the opening of the business.
We got both of those.
And
Do I-
that we had testimony from the applicant that he is not going to be lighting the internally lit sign, and we'll keep him at his word by adding it as a condition.
So I wrote down signs will not be internally lit.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other conditions? Do I have a second?
Second.
It was you, Mr. Burdick? Yep. Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we have one absent. It passes. Best of luck with your business going forward. Okay.
Thank you. Seems like there should be a celebration afterwards.
I know.
Just that, we're done. Just that easy.
We're not ready for the next case, Michelle. These next two are not public hearings, though, correct?
Correct. They're both town board referrals.
Okay.
The first item is a request by Scott and Sandy Miller for a conditional special use permit to construct one additional in-law dwelling unit on premises 300 St. Joseph Street in an RR Rural Residential District. Oh, no, you don't have to come up. Okay. Unless,
I don't mind if they want to come up and just tell us what they're planning on doing.
perfect.
Please state your name and address, though.
Good evening, we're Sandy and Scott Miller, 300 St. Joseph Street. I do have a spiel I guess I can go through since I'm here. As noted in the letter of intent that is included in the application, this year marks 130 years that our property has been in the Miller family, and our grandchildren will be the sixth generation to live on this property. Our proud and rich history in Arundecoit includes Scott's great-grandfather Charles, who purchased the property in 1894, being one of the original founders of Seneca School, as recognized on a plaque that hangs in its halls. Scott's father Chuck responding to St. Paul Fire Department's very first ambulance call. Scott speaking at the rededication ceremony of Seneca School in 2003, and our younger daughter, who was a Seneca student at the time, cutting the ribbon. Since the very first generation, the goal of each of the generations has been to pass the property on to the next and keep what is affectionately known as the family farm in the Miller family. Construction of the in-law apartment not only meets the immediate need to keep our 85-year-old mother safe by eliminating her need to navigate multiple sets of stairs, it is also a vital part of our plan to pass the property down to the next generations, as our older daughter and her 3 children will move into the house on the property that our mother currently occupies. God willing, Scott and I have a few decades left in this world, If that is the case, and without the in-law apartment, our younger daughter will not have the benefit of living on the property until we are gone, and she can move into the original farmhouse that we currently occupy. At that point, she would be in her 60s, and her children will already have grown and left her home, and sadly will not have had the benefit of growing up in the flats. Alternatively, with the existence of the in-law apartment, when our mother is no longer with us, Scott and I will move into the in-law apartment, and our younger daughter and her family will move into the farmhouse. In addition, since we are quickly approaching our retirement age, having both of our girls and their families on the property with us will be a huge help, both financially and physically. Their ability to help pay taxes and upkeep costs, as well as provide the sweat equity needed to mow acres of grass, pick up after dozens of trees, and all the other maintenance that comes with the property and its many buildings will be much needed in our retirement years. Beyond that, we envision the in-law apartment being a wonderful place for any of our grandchildren to live when they are old enough to move out of their parents' home, and the circle will continue. We do not anticipate non-family members ever living in the in-law apartment. The plan is that it will strictly be used by family members to help facilitate the continuation of keeping the family farm in the family. Regarding the actual design and construction of the in-law apartment, we would like to note that our surveyor and site planner, architect, and builder are all Arundequite residents. We are happy and proud to support these three amazing local small businesses as part of this project. We appreciate your time and consideration and look forward to the opportunity to work with the town on this project. Thank you.
Thank you. So just for clarity, on this map, which house are you adding it to?
It's actually an accessory building behind the farmhouse. Yeah, Scott can show you.
So where it's going to go is, this is our house, and this building right here is where the footprint's gonna be, so the building's gonna come out this way and then to the east.
Oh, it's going to be connected or it's going to be separate?
It's gonna be its own building. After we got this building cleaned out, we thought we were gonna put an addition on this building, but both the builder and the architect thought it'd be better just to eliminate the building, demo it, and then build a brand-new structure in this footprint, which keeps it secluded. It's not visible from the road, it's tucked back, and it seems to be the best fit for where our location is.
I know he showed me. Is everybody else clear where it is? You guys got it? So thank you, and you could stay right there. Could the staff just explain why this needs a special use permit? As per the code that you gave us today.
Kate Powers, LaBella Associates. So in the, this is in the RR, correct, Michelle? So in the rural residential zoning district, an in-law apartment is a special use permit. And so, as you all know, for something that is a special use, it has to be considered on a case-by-case basis. So it comes before you all, before the town board, and they decide if this use is appropriate in this specific circumstance.
So just out of curiosity, since this is a separate dwelling, is it still considered an in-law apartment under the special use?
So I was looking into this myself, and there is no definition of in-law apartment in the code. There is, however, a definition for accessory apartment, which is what I would consider the closest to it. And so for an accessory apartment, it has to be attached to a residence. However, when you go to the RR section of the code, it does say an in-law apartment detached or attached. So ideally, there should be a definition for in-law apartment. But it's, you all know how the code can be confusing.
Right, and also, so a lot of people are referring to these as next gen now too, it's just so.
Sure, well, and also you can't control who lives there. So it's kind of, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, maybe in the future we drop in-law apartment, call it something that's a little bit more general, because you can't control who who is a tenant of a structure, so,
It's just basically an ADU that they're adding to the property.
yes.
All right.
Yeah, so, okay.
And there's lots of other buildings it looks to be on this property, so I'm not sure that it would make any difference. I think that it would fall within the enhancement of the existing features that are present on that property.
Yeah, it appears that this is a very unique property in terms of its layout and the structures that are there. And so, at least I suggest just going through the general criteria in which special use permits are compared against.
I started that.
Great. That's what I like to hear.
So you want me to read through each one of these, or?
You don't necessarily have to. I'll leave it up to the board. I will, for those who were not previously on the board last year, that the town board more recently has asked for, findings, some like substantive rationale behind, referrals. And so I just included this for you all, especially for newer folks who have not gone through this process. And so, sure, you can either go through these questions, or you can go through the larger categories and just have a discussion. It's sort of up to you and what you think is appropriate for the group.
Right, just for more direct, we either give a positive or a negative referral. So I'll just ask, does anybody feel negative about this?
No.
I didn't think so. Nobody? I'm just looking around. Okay, so for a positive referral, what comments do we want to give the town board?
I think that this does enhance and with the existing features that are already currently existing on this property, I don't believe that it'll be a negative impact on the surrounding property, since it's wholly contained within their own property and will reflect what's already currently existing. I think I can't say that it's compliant with the design, because I've not seen the design yet, but I would imagine that once we do take a look at it, it will probably reflect what currently is existing. And if it's for somebody's mom or mother-in-law, I bet it'll look a lot better than what it currently exists.
So I grabbed enhances current features on the property.
Yep.
All the rest of it, I wasn't sure what to write. What did you want to say?
Oh, the impact, I don't believe it'll have a negative impact on the surrounding properties.
That's what I thought, okay.
And I bet everybody else here can read too, so if you want to add stuff.
We got two, unless there's more. I think it's
Well, you're enhancing the existing features was another point, so.
Yeah.
I just think it's great that you want to continue the family legacy.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to put that down, if that's, okay.
Yep.
It's always the goal.
And I believe that it would be compliant with all of the site access and services that it currently enjoys or we're responsible to provide.
Which we don't know because we didn't see any of it, so. Right.
No. Fire access and being able to walk from one end of the property to the other. I think it's not going to interfere with any of that stuff.
No impact to emergency services?
Yes.
That's what you're saying? I don't want to put words in your mouth, so.
No, but some of that area does have well on it.
Yeah, we've got a well on our, original well on our property.
Yeah.
That's closer to our house, so it's probably,
300 feet off the road.
yeah, the well is probably 300 feet from the road, but the well, in relationship to where we're gonna build this building, is 50, 60 feet away from where that original well is.
Yeah, I have a cousin that lives on Legionnaires, so,
But of course, we're serviced by public water. It's just
yeah,
the
no, she
original
is serviced
well.
by, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
public
Serving
over
public
there.
water.
I don't think on St. Joseph everything is, but
Do your immediate neighbors know what your plans are?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Any issues?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay. Mr. Richards, since you gave most of it, would you like to make the motion?
I would suggest that we, on 300 St. Joseph Street, that we do a positive referral for the special use permit.
I captured all those things we talked about.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 It's a positive referral, and best of luck with your plans.
Thank you
Look
so
forward
much.
to
Thank
Really
seeing
you.
it.
appreciate
Thank you very
your
much.
time
Thank
tonight.
you.
Thank you.
This one I do again.
Next item on the agenda is also another town board referral. This is request by Fifth Frame Brewing Company for a special use permit to operate a restaurant, eating establishment, or drinking establishment with seating for more than 30 patrons on premises 5370 St. Paul Boulevard in a C Business District.
Can I just ask a question? This is a special use permit that'll travel with the property. How did it exist before?
As a restaurant, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it needed a special use permit unless it was just there forever and nobody bothered to do anything about it.
Don't we
Because
have
it's gone
something
through a couple
special?
owners.
Don't we have something special in our code?
I'm assuming that it existed?
I mean, because all we're doing is taking a restaurant that had a bar and now making a bar that's gonna have a restaurant. I don't know that there's any
So
real
I-
difference here.
I thought there was some kind of special use required for any bar or restaurant in Arundequoit.
It should have already been on this property, that's why I was asking.
Or maybe it was before that law came into effect, Alan. Is that possible?
It's had several owners though, over the years, but I don't, it doesn't matter if that's what they need to operate.
It might have been before, because that was all because of Blue Gardenia, right? Back in the day, or?
That's your story and I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Because it sounds interesting to me.
An Empire, yeah, anyways. I might be wrong, so.
So there's just no special use permit on file, so that's why we're looking at this today. Okay.
So does anybody there's nobody here to speak about it, right? I read about it. Does anybody have any concerns? Any negative concerns with it? Any positive concerns?
No, again, I mean, it operated as a bar and restaurant previously with no issues, and why can't it continue?
I think they're gonna add outdoor seating, so maybe,
They had some outdoor seating, I think, at Somerville.
20 seats out front, existing. There were metal tables and chairs that sat on the
I
front.
mean, and that part still has to come back to
They're right in
us
the
at some
picture.
point, so.
We'll still get to review this for
Yeah,
site
there's
plan.
another bite of this apple.
Yeah, site plan will have some comments, but
Yes,
as far as special use, it's the same use,
same use.
compatible with the existing. Site
Yep.
access remains the same,
they wanna renovate it, right?
just
Yeah,
the
they're
front.
gonna
update it, so.
Yeah, any impact is gonna be positive. They're gonna, I mean, from the rendering, it looks a lot nicer.
And the site access and service seem to be enhanced, if not the same. Seems compatible with everything that's currently happening.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I thought I saw they were gonna add a deck with seating, maybe I,
front.
Yeah,
Right
they
to the
could
front
be,
where
but
that's existing.
on the special use permit, that's all that we're here for tonight.
no, I mean, I thought that would be a good enhancement, is what I
Oh,
was saying.
okay.
I believe that they're adding a pergola in the front
pergola.
to enhance the
The
outdoor seating.
pergola is already on the zoning board's agenda for next month.
This is what it looks like now. See the metal tables out front with just a chain. That's all.
They're not there right now.
But that's on the setback, it's not actually on the
Yeah.
pergola itself.
So do we
Yes.
wanna say
Yeah.
adding the pergola is a nice enhancement?
I don't want to say anything like that because I don't know what they're
Then
going
we're
to end up
influencing
doing.
the zoning board?
I don't want to prejudge a pergola.
Okay, Alan doesn't like pergolas. Okay.
Well, also, I would suggest, like, because this will come back for
Absolutely,
site
yep.
plan,
Right.
go crazy, but it's like, this is just for the use. So it's
Yep.
like, okay, a more intense quote-unquote bar restaurant, because it's more than 30 seats. So
Right.
it's like, is that appropriate? But
Right.
But I believe because it existed that way prior at Somerville Grill most recently, that there's really no change of use. I have no idea even how they
So-
were able to operate.
Yeah, so I captured two things. Operated as a bar and restaurant before, no issues, positive impact on surrounding properties.
All the site access and services will be exactly
Remain.
the same.
Yep.
It's compatible with existing land use and zoning patterns.
And it shouldn't affect the neighbors.
No,
Shouldn't be much change for the neighbors.
No.
I sound really smart because of you today, Kate.
What did you say, what was the last one? I'm sorry.
No impact on the neighbors.
No, I
impact
got
on the neighbor.
that.
It's
Positive impact on
It's
surrounding-
compatible with the existing
Can't say no impact.
services and the land use and zoning patterns of that area
Okay, so compatible with,
existing land use and zoning patterns of that area.
okay.
Yeah.
Dan, would you like to give me the motion for that?
I will make the motion to provide a positive recommendation to the town board for the special use permit based on the reasons we talked about.
Great. I got them all captured here. And do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please, anything else before I go? All those in favor, please
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
It passes. And that's the extent of our work tonight, unless there's more for us. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Second? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.